So beginning with the reactive maintenance side of things, we actually have built an Andon functionality into this system so that operators, when the line goes down, can actually call out relevant people to the problem to fix it. So typically in a lot of our customer cases, before they installed Factbird, when a problem happened on the line and they needed an engineer or a technician or a manager, whatever it might be, they'd actually have to physically go walk and find them. And this is obviously wasting quite some valuable time. So now with the Factbird system, if we jump straight into the register stops page here, this is the page that we have operators interacting with to register stops. Let's say the line goes down and they need assistance at the line. They can then come over here to the right and click Andon, and that initiates an Andon call. They then get these options to call for various roles, so they can choose the role of a manager, a technician, whatever it might be. You can configure these roles in the system for whatever they might be in your particular case. Then they put in their initials, and they can put in a comment so that there's a bit more information for the person that's taking the call. So let's say just a belt snap can't fix, and then they have the choice to make either a yellow call or a red call, and that indicates a level of urgency to the person that's receiving this Andon call. So a yellow call would say that this is a problem, but it's not necessarily something you need to drop everything for. A red call is quite an urgent call to say the person that you're calling needs to get there now. So if you were to set up a new Andon call, that Andon functionality then becomes available on this Andon page here on the left. So if I was to look over the case of, let's say, the last month and a half, I can then see all of the Andon calls that have been made in that period. Here you can see the green ones showing that the call has been resolved. You can then start to see data around when the call was made, what time it was taken, and how long it took to resolve, along with any comments that the maintenance manager or whoever it is fix the problem might leave, so that you can facilitate longer term learning of how these problems are being resolved. You have these yellow calls here, which can be resolved similar to the red calls to say that someone is working on it, but they haven't actually resolved it yet. So it was taken at this time, but it hasn't been resolved yet. And then you have these exclamation mark calls, which means that that's what the maintenance manager or the technician or anybody would click to say that they're working on that call. So this call was made at 11:04. The maintenance manager can then click to say, take the call, put in their initials, and say take. Now that call is taken. So we can see it was made at this time, it has been taken at this time, and it hasn't been resolved yet. So there's no resolve time. So let's say the operators are then working on it. Obviously, maybe some more time would have passed in this period, but once it is completed, they can come over here to click the spanner, put the resolve, say, they'd probably give a bit more of a detailed reason of how they fixed it, and then put in their initials again, and then click resolve. You then start to see a summary of that over time, and you can then see it on your list of completed Andon calls.